the Evergreen Media Network Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Hi, friends, and welcome. I am Julie. Welcome to Growing Old Fearlessly, the show about navigating the process of growing older one day at a time. Maybe being a caregiver or just helping a friend with some assistance. And I want to make sure that I thank my sponsor, Evergreen Media, for making this show possible. If you need to reach out to them, you can find them on the website at egreenmedia.com. So in today's show, we're going to be talking about changes in life. And I have a very special guest whom I've known for a lot of years, first as a professional associate and later as my friend. She has recently started her own business called Vero Beach Concierge Services, LLC. Don't forget that. And she knows full well how changes can come unexpectedly into your life. Welcome to the show, Catherine Cadell.
Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for having me today. It's my pleasure to attend and to contribute.
I love having you here. Thank you so much for coming in. So, life sure isn't a piece of cake, isn't it?
Well, I like cake. I like cake a lot, but no, sometimes it's not so much fun. We have to look for the icing a little harder sometimes.
Oh, there you go. I like the way you put that. Major life changes can come at any point in our lives, right?
It's true. It's true.
And it doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, I know that, when you're in your 20s and your 30s, you do have changes. I am specifically talking today about those that happen through midlife and in later adulthood years. And what happens? I mean, it's just so easy to become negative, right?
It is. It takes a lot of courage to navigate change. And finding the right resources for the right situation is it's just like bringing the right tools to the project so that you can continue moving forward and continue building up.
Right. So as we grow older, we encounter maybe the death of a family member or a friend. We have experienced that recently together.
Yes.
We can experience a loss of a job or a career change. Maybe a move. Maybe we just have to move our residences. And all of those things impact us in more ways than we know. And so I was looking, Catherine, at this website. It's onevibrantlife.com. And they have 5 ways on how to deal with major life changes. And I want to go through those with you because I know that you and I have gone through one or more of those things that I just mentioned. And it's important that we help other people on how to manage their way through them so that they can come out on the other side a little stronger and smiling a little bigger and a little brighter, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So number 1 is practice acceptance. Life definitely throws curveballs at us at any given point. And we have to let go of the control and kind of like roll along. And that's where the serenity prayer comes into play. And I'm going to read this because it's I think it's important. I think I have it memorized, but I'm going to read it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I think this is very important. I think it's also been a part of both our lives, right?
It has. It's a very comforting prayer. I find that when I'm challenged most, it comes immediately to my lips. And if I am not saying it out loud, I am going through it in my heart and in my mind. and instantly I feel much more secure in what I'm facing.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that I started this show, Catherine, a few months ago was because of my dad. And everybody has heard my stories about my dad and how all of a sudden, after my mom passed, I had to learn how to take care of an elderly man. Mm-hmm. And I have been navigating that, and I can finally say that I have been successful. I mean, at the beginning, it was like, why do I have to do this? Why me? Why me? Why me? Right? And I took it on, and I have learned so much through the process, and I'm not done. But I can say, you know, like last weekend, and we were just showing some pictures of my dad. We just took those this last weekend. I took him out on Friday. We actually went out for a beer. My husband joined us. My cousin, who lives in West Virginia, was passing through. And so we all got together. And my dad just had such an amazing time just being out. And I had told him, I said, you need some fresh air. And he's like, yes, I do. So then on Sunday, I went and I picked him up again from his assisted living facility. And I was going to take him home so we could make some dinner and spend some time together. And I picked him up and I said, I'm going to take you somewhere else before we go to my house. And he's like, oh, okay. So I took him to the beach. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, was he so happy. He was like, oh, I haven't seen the ocean in so long. And those are those things that I know when I go and I visit my dad or I pick him up and take him out, that he looks forward to those times, because he also went through a major life change. And as hard as it was on him, I kept thinking that it was all on me, but it's not all on me. And so now I feel like we're on the other side of that.
Oh, that's so good.
So that's we're really happy. Yeah.
I'm so glad. And I'm delighted for the forward movement and I would say the support that each of you give to each other through this process.
Right, right. So way number 2 of making it through a major life change is taking care of your physical health. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of somebody else, right?
It's true.
And how are you going to make it through? So mind and body are connected. And and yes, I always say this to my father as well. And I know that you practice this too. I always tell him to exercise.
Yes.
And he is so proud of himself. Even when I was praising him this last week and telling him, Dad, you're doing so good and I'm so happy for you. He was like, well, you know, I do my exercises every day. I brought him these 2 little pink weights that my mother used to have. And so he sits there and he does curls and he raises his arms and he does.
Oh,
but
so good.
Yes.
So
but
good.
I know that you do the same thing.
I do. I ascribe to this principle: a body in motion stays in motion. So if you continue to use the tools, your arms, your muscles, your mind, you will stay sharper for the long term. And that is definitely going to be a bonus as we age. Yes.
Right. And so I have my home garage gym where I work out. I think that's one of the things that came out of COVID. And I've continued it because I can work out anytime I want, at the time that I want. And whether I have a matching outfit or not, doesn't matter. Makeup doesn't matter. I'm just doing what I have to do for myself.
Very good.
One of the things that happened to me, and this is, you know, taking care of your physical health is so important, is when my mother passed, I went through a depression period. And I couldn't believe it, but in 3 months, now it was a lot of things together. My mother passed and I was also switching jobs. And within 3 months, I had put on 20 pounds, 20. And I know, yes, I may have been a little bit more sedentary in my new job, but just the fact that it happened so quickly, and it has taken a long time. They're not completely gone, but as I mentioned to you just a few minutes ago, from the time a few months ago that you and I went for a long walk and we were talking, and I told you I was gonna definitely take the steps to lose the weight, I have lost 13 pounds.
So proud of you.
So I am so happy, and I'm feeling much better.
It doesn't take a lot to get that forward momentum going. It's your job to keep it going.
Exactly.
So I am so proud of you, and I'm signed up for you to walk anytime.
I know, and that's what I like about you and I. It's like you and I have become such good friends that I can call you and I can say, hey, this Friday after work, can we just go for a long walk?
I'll say yes every time.
And the long walk actually has two purposes.
Yes.
Number one is to get that exercise in, right? Because it does make you feel better. And it's really nice to have somebody to talk to.
Yes,
And-
absolutely. We've leaned on each other many times over the years, and having that trusted bond makes a big difference.
Yes, absolutely. So way number 3 to get through these life changes is to make a proactive plan. Know when to take action, take the steps. If you're able to plan in advance, sometimes you're not, but if you're able to plan in advance for the change, have a really good plan that will carry you through. Yes, sometimes you just don't know that it's going to happen. So, but when you wake up the next morning after something major happened, you can start writing a list of what you need to do. I'm going to take this class.
Right.
Or I'm going to learn this, I'm going to learn something new, or I'm going to get a new book.
That saying, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. I believe that when we have circumstances in our lives that are so overwhelming, you are standing in front of this elephant and saying, how do I eat this elephant? It's huge. It's overwhelming. I don't even like elephants. Right? So how am I going to do this? So
And they're so big.
The joke is, eat a small bite at a time.
Right.
And that's the list. Break it down, make it easier. Give yourself permission to take a smaller task and do one thing a day. Sometimes you have to skip the day and say, I give myself permission to do this too. Be gentle with yourself through the change. But yes, being organized, making lists, and attacking the project in small increments makes it much more manageable.
Right. It doesn't all have to happen overnight.
Right.
Years and years and years ago, when my daughter was in 5th grade, I was going through a divorce. And it was that 5th grade teacher. Gosh, and I cannot remember her name, but it was her who saw me at the school, because I used to volunteer every week. And she noticed that I didn't look the same. I had been crying and I was very upset, and that is one of those major and traumatic times in our lives. And she was the first one who said to me, she said, Julie, you just picture this elephant right in there, and how do you eat that elephant? How do you swallow that elephant? Because that's how the problem or the change seems at the time. And she's like, you just take little bites at a time. Little bites. And that gets you through. And before you know it, the elephant is gone. And I do love elephants. So the thought of eating an elephant is not very
I love
appealing
elephants
to me.
too. I just don't want to eat them.
Anyways, tell you what, let's take a little break and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Ralph Winook with Dale Sorensen Real Estate and ResidentialRalph.com. When you're interested in buying or selling a home, contact me. As your agent, I will work nonstop to ensure that your buying or selling experience is smooth and stress-free. I will be there for you at every stage of the process to answer your questions and help you make an informed decision. So, why wait? Contact me, Ralph Winook, and schedule a consultation with me today. Visit residentialralph.com. That's right, residentialralph.com.
Star Quality Airman here. Summer here is not only hot, it's super hot. So when your air conditioner falls victim to the evil powers of wear and tear, we're here to save the day. Call your air conditioning superheroes. When you need us, we're there. Star Quality Air.
This summer's a great time to pack up the family and explore new frontiers in a Sun Camper RV. Our prices are hotter than the sun, and right now you can take advantage of wholesale pricing on all new Sun Camper RVs. That's right, all of our top quality, fully equipped RVs, 30 to 35% below retail. School's out, the great outdoors are calling. Save 30 to 35% on all new Sun Camper RVs. Your summer adventure starts at Sun Camper RV.
Your grandkids struggle. You've helped your kids through their struggles. What about yours? Back in your day, nobody talked about feelings, emotions, or mental health. Times have changed. It's your time to unstruggle. When life is a struggle, getting help shouldn't be. Unstruggle.org.
Advertising is essential. You've got to make people aware that you're there. We can do that with a cohesive marketing campaign from Evergreen Media. Based on your business goals, we'll create a mix of digital advertising on social media sites like Facebook, video advertising on streaming sites like Hulu and Paramount Plus, and supplement them with local TV and radio ads. Build awareness, educate, and inform the public with a cohesive marketing campaign by Evergreen Media. Check out egreenmedia.com or search online for Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Welcome back to Growing Old Fearlessly. I would like to thank my sponsor, Ralph Winook, Realtor with Dale Sorensen Real Estate. He is Residential Ralph, and he can help you whether you are selling or buying your residence. You definitely need an expert on your side. Give Ralph a call. He's at 772-408-7133 or through his website at residentialralph.com. All right, so we are back with my friend Catherine Cadell, and we are talking about how to heal with major life changes, which is, it happens to all of us. You can plan on having the smoothest ride through life, but life is never on a straight line. It always goes up and down, and it's how you handle those moments in which it goes down, because it also doesn't just go in a straight line up. You have those times where it goes down. So how do you manage that? How do you handle those moments so that you can maintain who you are and go through life and not be always depressed or negative or feeling like nobody's got your back? So we've been talking about that. Way number 4 is check in with yourself. And that is important.
Absolutely. Taking time for yourself, taking time to know what your heart is feeling, what your mind is processing, giving yourself enough quiet time, being around others to help you with assessments. I think that is absolutely essential for healing.
And that is something I would suggest, do it first thing in the morning when you first wake up, or end of the day as you're going to sleep. A lot of times when we go to bed and we are going to bed with our worries, it makes them worse, because the way your brain works, it just keeps processing it all night while you're sleeping, or keeps you awake. And then you can't sleep. And that's all you're doing is just overthinking. And I feel that when you go to bed and you're actually thinking, okay, these are my steps, because we already talked about that a few minutes ago. These are my steps. This is what I need to do. I am taking all the necessary steps to make sure that I get through this. It helps you sleep. And it relaxes you.
One of the things that works well for me is doing a personal inventory at the end of the day. And that is when I am in my bed ready for sleep and I say, okay, this is what was good about today, and this is what can be better for tomorrow. And just really focusing in on your accomplishments and doing a personal review of the people that were that you spoke with during the day, or the interactions that you had with retailers or just strangers. I think that we can carry a lot of those interactions with us once we shut our brains down. So like you said, really clearing your mind that way is very helpful.
Right. I believe a lot in meditation, and I feel that those are the two times, but I especially like it in the morning. And if it's a meditation that has to do with gratitude, expressing gratitude just kind of keeps you going through the day, that everything that is happening for a reason. And thank you for showing me the way to improve myself and to grow. So I feel that's something very important. I love YouTube. I think YouTube is like one of the best things that has been created, because anything that you need, any kind of meditation that you need is there for you. So you can sit quietly and let somebody else talk to you while you're just sitting there listening, taking it in, and then going on through your day.
It's true. If you've never done a meditation, then look for the guided meditation for beginners on YouTube, because that is going to be the perfect place to start.
Perfect.
Yes.
So way number 5 to get through. It's very important. And I mean, they're all important. This is one of the most important ones. And it's reach out to your support system.
Agreed. You're not alone.
Right. You are not. And a lot of times people know what you're going through and they reach out. So be open to receive that support. But if they're not there, make sure to reach out.
I think that when we're scared or hurt, it's very easy to isolate, and you feel that you're not ready to move beyond those boundaries because it's safe to stay here, being quiet. What you might need is just a little push to keep moving forward through the change. And sometimes we have to ask for help from strangers. Sometimes we have to ask for resources that don't exist without us asking.
Right. And you were just mentioning, while we were on our break, you mentioned, that sometimes you need to ask somebody else to do it for you. And that's where your business comes into play.
It's true. So Vero Beach Concierge Services will step in with some strength. If you're feeling weak, if you can't handle the task, we might be able to help you tackle it more easily.
And how do they reach you?
772-480-5907. Also, you can look at the website. It's V as in Victor, B as in boy, C as in Charlie, S as in Sam, .us.
All right. And of course, you're also on social media under Vero Beach Concierge Services.
That's correct.
LLC.
Thank you, Julie. Yes.
I wanted to make sure
Thank you.
that it's LLC. So to those 5 ways, I am going to add one more. This is one of also my favorite, and it's don't be afraid to laugh. Find humor in the situation that you're going through and laugh, because laughter is a great medicine. And even the Mayo Clinic agrees. They stated that laughter is a powerful stress relief medicine.
I love that.
So find lots and lots of ways to laugh.
Surround yourself with people who smile.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's one of the reasons I love my husband. And I mentioned this to somebody yesterday. What's the best way to a woman's heart is to make her laugh. And he makes me laugh on a daily basis.
He makes me laugh too. He's a great source of laughter, that one.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
So as we get to the end of the show, I wanted to thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Julie.
Giving us some input. I hope that you all found today's show helpful and that it has taught you something new on how to manage changes in your life, because change is inevitable. It will always happen. In the words of Buddha, change is never painful. Only resistance to change is painful. Have a wonderful week, everybody. See you next time.